Joining us.
Vanessa, awesome to be with you.
Thanks. So, Wayne, you have such a unique story. Why don't you take us back a little bit in time and tell us a little bit about what brought you to Israel?
Well, it came out of the blue. I was happy serving the Lord in Toronto, Canada. My wife was the music director at a daily television program that was seen across Canada. I was finishing my master's degree at the University of Toronto, and part-time a pastor in downtown Toronto, right near the university, and we were having the time of our lives. It felt like we could be there all of our lives.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, while we were on vacation, we stopped at a church on a Sunday morning, and the pastor, who was shaking hands at the back of the auditorium, shook our hand, and he said, "Why don't you come home for dinner?" So we went home for dinner, and over dinner he said, "My congregation doesn't know yet, but I'm about to resign from this church.
Wow.
I'm going to move to Israel." And he told us a story about how he had been in Israel and southern Lebanon at the time when the Israeli soldiers were there to protect the nation from missiles, and was at a radio station broadcasting from there. And he felt the Lord say to him, start a ministry in Israel. Bring Canadian young people to Israel, work on the kibbutzim, the communal farms, shoulder to shoulder with the kibbutzniks, and show the true face of Jesus to this nation in that small way. And when he shared that vision with some government officials in Jerusalem, they said, "You know what? To succeed at that ministry, you're probably going to have to live here and run it from Jerusalem."
Wow.
And in the process, we know there are a lot of Christians like you that would probably love to have a church, and why don't you start a church? So he's telling us this far-fetched story, it seemed at the time.
He probably didn't expect this at all.
No, out of the blue. And so he said, we're about to move to Israel and start this church. And out of the blue, he said, "Wayne and Ann, would you come and help us start that church?"
Now, had you ever thought about Israel before?
No, not at all. We had never been to Israel.
Wow.
I had an opportunity to learn Hebrew at the seminary. I took New Testament Greek, but not ancient Hebrew. So I was totally unprepared for this.
Right.
And I thought I was not the candidate that God should be looking for. But that something stuck in our hearts, and we began to pray about that. We began to study about Israel and the Jewish people and the history. And a really warm heart developed within us, and we took a Spy Out the Land tour that year, 1981, the end of the year. And we brought a group, but one of our purposes was to see if God was really calling us or this was just a pipe dream.
Right.
And we got what we felt was confirmation. And it took us a while to get everything together, but we brought our son Jamie and Joel with us and moved to Israel in the summer of 1983.
Wow.
And we began this little church, a small Bible study in downtown Jerusalem in an apartment.
Oh my goodness.
And we went from there.
Right.